is my pleasure to welcome you to the 14th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Basel Convention, the 9th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Rotterdam Convention, and the 9th meeting of the Conference of the Parties of the Stockholm Convention, which are being held under the theme Clean Planet, Healthy People, the Sound Management of Chemicals and Waste.
We come here to be the conscience of the convention, to ensure that they make the right choices to protect communities like ours, but everybody on the planet.
I think we now need to see governments and businesses being held accountable for this really growing global crisis of plastic pollution.
This rose and this candle we have placed over here is to remember all those who have died because of exposure to chrysotile asbestos, and to the millions of people and workers who will continue to die because of industrial and environmental exposure in the future.
Basel amendment that we're discussing now could take care of one part of the problem and ensure that plastic waste is not exported.
On amendments to Annex 2, 8, and 9 to the Basel Convention is adopted.
The convention now correctly address the marine plastic issue.
The outcome of this COP will go a long way in addressing the gender issues, the gray areas we have between the social roles of men and women, especially in chemicals management.
I trust that all farmers and their families will benefit from these important decisions that we are all making here this week.
We are increasing chemicals that are listed, for example, for Stockholm Convention, there's banning. So back home, countries would have then to implement that decision to ensure that they are able to eliminate all these persistent organic pollutants from the environment.
A boat does not go forward if each one of us is rowing his or her own way. I believe over the past 2 weeks, you have all tried to row together, remove the silos in which we tend to work, and see how we can make a big impact together on global chemicals and waste pollution crisis.
Mr. President, what, in your opinion, is the outcome of this year's COP's BRS?
Thank you for the question. It's a very important question. For Stockholm COP, the main outcome, it is listing for 2 important chemicals, it's PFO and a related compound, which is hundreds, maybe thousands of compounds, and dicofol. These 2 chemicals, it is joined the Stockholm Convention family. Now we have 3 chemicals, 12 plus 18 plus 2. It's make them total 30. But in terms of another convention, I think within Basel Convention, we adopt very important guidelines for new POPs. And the main important within Basel context, it is the plastic issue and the establishment of partnership for plastic, and the same time the amendment of the annexes of Basel Convention to include plastic waste within the Annex 2 and Annex 8 and Annex 9. In terms of Rotterdam, the main outcomes it is to adopt the compliance mechanism which we are negotiating since 15 years, since the convention become entry to enforce, and we are happy that we adopt this compliance mechanism through adding additional annex, which is Annex 7 to the Rotterdam Convention. And the same time also they are doing progress in listing chemicals. They are listing 3 chemicals and they are trying to list chemicals, historical, let us say, chemicals that from previous COPs. This is in my opinion, the main outcomes.
So I'm happy to celebrate with you 30 years of Basel. We only have one planet and we have to work for it.
I'm so happy to have you here today and to see the results of this hard work. To our presidents, to the co-chairs, to the delegates, to the civil society present here, to other organizations present here. All in all, I'm very happy, and I hope you are too. And I know, and you all know as well, behind the scenes, there's a lot of people working to make sure this building works. Thank you.
If it wasn't for the leadership here, we'd all be living in a giant, out-of-control global chemistry experiment.
Clean planet.
Healthy people.
Ren planet. Healthy people. Clean planet.
Healthy people.
Clean planet.
Healthy people, yeah!